and watch it all. Now if you are trying come on Friday. Somebody has out messages with 0541825106. But I mean, Casa, I lead with Sabo say, yeah, more, I want them call you. What that was so die basa basa. What should I know who was soon about your bomb? So being our Kalasu. Our Kalasu come up. But your dance basa basa. Who should I know who did it? Our Diane. And you know, I'm going. I'm fat. Ya sunye sadia komode so woni alidu sabo samne beto kase echewie ya wase ne onu nkwa no yo wase ye kokonta shiwa se ye sichiri yare enamu yare awo mu nse esamawa komode so wonsa abeka akuyala so bacho wokofo dia metasi ran kulikuli wo ha sanso ana kra trotro station Dr. Shikase Moha wonsa bekami asman kase fon tru ko raza drugstore akwati afo ko GNTC ship mo se onkoda 8 oba woto fe front desk ya block 8 bacho gloria wo ho ya break 8 ko Ayetema General Hospital antie ma enso awo ho wonsa beka kuyala so your friend was 0243 409 862 0243 409 862 and a 0540 670 646 0201 223 717. Mama bedwa for akwaba na bibi asonya kama pa Jane akwaba
Didon Mijuso
na boko die
Nyamiado bibia kama bibia fine
na asa washa nkomo ho
me can say nkom she me can say jumadin because the last time I borrow also studio and me analysis be true say looking at the polls and how things are going.
Okay. In
the first time Tema Central NDC we are going to have a history.
That's right.
And history na ya too. But the only thing I will say is about vigilance. Always from January, even me find say 5 years now. And let our bet now reduce you talk about vigilance.
That's right.
Na media to me go to dream. Into you make sure vigilance no and then it done ready on the 7th of December. And then it's yani white. It's about one. Nyankopon already asida diamano.
Wow.
Because without God we can't do anything. God was with us from day one. Your core primaries. Honorable Winnie Yana. She makes sure say social media she will not post a lot of things because unim say every number 12 bia obenya Judas Iscariot back home.
Wow.
Into assistant strategy. So like a complaints call a company for honorable is not doing anything.
On your visible on social
media no. Or social media cry. She was doing her campaign. Let me tell you, we have also adopted the strategy of the flag bearer. How are all meaty civil society organizations, importers, teachers, nurses. We're also doing that at the constituency level. Into Yamiti groups bia.
Wow.
The only group we're not able to meet Egg Cookers Sellers Association.
Egg Cookers Sellers
Association. Because much bread. Certain pink sheets have to vanish along the way.
And that's I'm up for the digger. I say I was loving the radio out on 92.3. And I Ghana Casa boss lady.
Alaska.
More called here.
Nyamiado.
Tema Central.
Yes.
Won't make history. But the other time you were here before me, you told me you were emphatic.
Yeah.
Said you were going to make history.
Exactly.
And remember back to re-echo the to the listeners. Say, Asama Muka, you know.
Abim.
One yet is a quarter for now. Yes, I'm no mama. Mobile.
Now you be catch your listeners. They said, yeah, be kind, you know. Abim.
Wow.
And our face, you be that impeniophobia. Or more Tema Central asi. Now before that, you better Ghana phone in asi.
Wow.
If it's a Ghana for ya dear, and you're on one, this huge win in Kayenya.
Wow.
But yet the ones said they believed in His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, and then they gave him that mandate because Omunim say why be that no bar or Sanya baby. Until the Ghana phone in asi. Afi, Mpese Michia, Mr. and Mrs. Anamo, or Moya Mawofo, Tema Central. Omwaya de pa cause almost so constituency no more a year. Just say, me who how meka no but omo aye ade ye de omo ase bebre and that's it so enkom Mr. and Mrs. Adoko for 8 years and you opposition omo de omo fie emaye e ho na yen communication bureau for na ye meetings na ade I mean water, electricity, everything omo an charge even omo communication bureau for crack ye 1 or 2 and until Lizzie community 8 so you better not say now until Lizzie community 9 ono so you better not say now until Sisi Akwete ono so ye ma make kese ba ko wo e bi bright team no ono ne anti Amena ye do ono so ase any Mama G your friend no Auntie Gladys and Mr. Eric ye da omu nyina ase na last ka obeti a wo say after ye to abani wie ye no ya bobo ye who say polling stations no honorable Ebi Bright na Edin Kuni. But we had to go and then collate our results with the use of the pink sheets. Inti ye nim say ye win ya baby. Ye koye bibia ye could do collation center. Once nka MPP for nkomo ye very aggressive no. Usually say yen we are collation center on poyenko.
Okay.
Cause you say that way.
Honorable worry.
Honorable I wait ye di. But this trip omwankasa ehu say ye di nkunim to collation center okomo ayeden. Omo amba ho.
Really?
Yes. As at 8 o'clock ye drew me na me hwehwe me pink sheet back with na masoa ye she. Na me agent back me ni baby odi me pink sheet afa because I was manning 5 polling stations. So imagine so the pink sheet is our life. And see at that particular moment so pink sheet ya was be she.
Wow.
Either wo MP no nya parliament won kwa na wo president no onya your friend say Jubilee House won ko. And see after the time you drew your friend saying collation center around 8:30. Na your supporters on kwa no more. MPP ni ba ko cry ni ho. Because they came there around 9:30, 10. When they came, it was the PC, the chairman, and I think the vice chairman.
No, and one of their supporters.
Yes. No mobile. Omo supporter ni bia.
Osuna ye mobo.
Osuna ye mobo. The bets now wa be say 12. And na east in one. Why not so kita party MPP party card? Na just say MPP for no campo were not behaving aggressively like the way the EC was for them. And almost started say you be declare presidential, you be a presidential coalition. We took 13 hours.
13 hours.
13 hours.
Only 147 polling stations.
Wa abra dome kwa benya eyi fa do ashama eyi tema east
tema west.
Mususumpo say no. They were done with their collation. Kwa tema central 147. Intime collate it took us 13 hours. Omo ba ye no, omo pinch they were holding something scanty. Omo be kana yenti omo so omo ewini, omo fahin omo wini because omo say elections are won at the polling station. So this time around we were vigilant. We were very vigilant. We made sure we collated everything before going to the collation center. Omo ba yenti omo didimu trying to frustrate us. They ain't give it up. But you see that be at the end of the year, we went through the stress and everything. They put our honorable in that stress. By Yampaba, you almost say that be a fair my yes, mubwa, at the end of winning. So then you who say at the end of the year, then we have to call for reinforcement. So I say, you fret Ashama 4, you fret Tema East 4, you fret Tema West 4, you fret National. Nanda se kese enkoma honorable Ernest Nogbe. Basintali Malik. Hanabisu. Oh yeah, your friend say National Women Organizer. And now honorable Ashai. And your friend say honorable James Enu.
So me I deliver. So Anche Abedra Ebetonase.
Tell me who wins power. I will call
Nami Ivan and share as ni MPP for yi official ni ye research Ghana ye make say the pay abem na factors when na come na election when was a issue
Alaska they did kind of mention what here for that may more Ghana for abaso because I think obi a what here Ahotor since 2016 basic there na year 2020 elections me ba have a son caution be say Ghana for your mistake no mo koto aba maku for adoa or enkra me no anhwe abaton ba konde ba konde
very well
and I think asem na me kan no from 2020 up to now the economic conditions all course okrom ha no I'm sure say justify that particular statement or brena mane Ghana for afam ne nema akoso so it wasn't about say yakoto aba asesam na makoma tomem
okay
it is about the reflected the generality of what the larger Ghanaian society na esiki but I think say over the years na among fonte politics ase obi how aka na dwem chinchin me NDC de me wu koba biem kra obi su da hye team me MPP de me wu koba biem kra when you take such position Alaska in the political scheme of affairs that person you become useless
okay
because vote to see name first but when you are dynamic you can change your mind based on conditions I want mind no ultimate tell to because I know they you can change your mind based on happenings in the country political sense and that person is relevant what has happened
it means who you should agree
yes because omo agina fa kono a constant way no when they come to determination of election outcome na se for no ma omo ensure any impact be our elections so until I catch us say omo sesa elections and also we determine who wins power the floating voters
sure
because the NDC the MPP core supporters obi who are core supporters between them win power but there is a section of Ghanaians from floating voters they look at the dynamics so if you're able to sway them to a particular direction they will win you the election. I think what happened this particular year it justified that particular way and the political communication issues structured targeting those people because the last time I catch you say this retail kind of campaigner over here na candidate na sorry na okoni base na anadwo 1 anadwo 2 na ye shia amam for constituency na se for no I'm hoping say going forward ye besua bibi but because that is the way of doing things
that's right
old way but I think that there are a lot of research dynamics about politics ma asesa niema bebra you don't need to meet people 1 a.m. 12 a.m. now because such message no deliver and come baby call for obi obetimi agina constituency 1 a.m. at chain presidential candidate that person is already a party person no yeah the wato aba but obi oya floating voter ni nya da agin konko gina sa time no say or twan 1 a.m. be deliver message
that's right
and the way they do the thing the message delivered at the grounds and come baby so it's a waste adventure and that's some kind of way away but and then America so US elections na abra na major media houses ni nyina aside Trump he was using the new media for instance there was this Rogan Trump got on the podcast or YouTube he was able to he had a views of about 45 million people even CNN 3 days you will not get that particular views you understand so you saw that media and he was able to appeal to young voters and then as for them and I think they're going forward we need to structure our campaign system our old way of doing campaign no it doesn't work and then there are several platforms and I think that to a certain extent message na say 2020 advocacy across okroma campaign amanfa nya omadwen na anu adabato ya eba yo
that's right
advocacy ya set emotion some of us even started even before answer campaign kreba because we were insisting say Ghanaians need to understand politics na omunhu kwanya aban no abrabo boni a aban no de Ghana for eboso na abrabo omobo but enam say that emotionally partisan attaching into sa na man nyina ye botugu ye but from 2020 ebesi ne you could appreciate say a lot has changed so far as politics and is concerned young people so Alaska who be some factors added this particular way by medical can say the cause NDC victory a Ghanaian victory Ghana for in one accord have decided say enough of this nonsense. That is why I told you say a revolution without a gun.
Revolution
Without a gun. That revolution.
Tsunami
without a gun. Ghana for decisively and overwhelmingly have decided say Nema I play out our this particular country. Enough of it. And they are also sending a loud message to Abina Wabane say, what would the idea you know? I am good anymore no. Obana bedin semhuna. That is the fate awaiting you.
Okay.
So I'm sure say it's a good news. It's a Ghana for Ahotor normal family. I send a very powerful message to politicians out there. And they just to lose you. And I think that is a multiplicity of factors. One has to do with the president Nankasa. His arrogant posture. Nisubain, ne kwan of us or yeah, the name. The catcher said the very moment Akufo-Addo set up, he set himself up to fail. Because in this modern your friend saying democratic dispensation yewomi Alaska class some say oben yede akonya ma now kwakasa ofie fo betwa ahohia. When you do that you lose willpower.
That's right.
Willpower and said the ability to crack down on me fan say general manager wa adwuma mo ayo onua panyini ena wo na wo ye you have oni nua ketwa na wo te console ya nim. You think say o menua panyini na general manager after all dey na besi na wo te na wo di nsem hunu ono so nam say oni nua na ye onu nti ontumi nka.
That's right.
Nti woni be ba ahoso no o da bia pon akonsole ba kon de kofie woni ba ahoso na wo tutu speakers na se fo nyina de ko because unua panyini na te wo. So that willpower and you lose the leverage because after all we are there ontumi fa police mechew.
That's right.
Oni nua na ye o eto de dia abusia
about
that is why in the wisdom of those who have studied politics no e culture say chronism family and friends those we know we are president na odo ho kotoma killing something we call willpower. But we are president our culture and none of state cannot be weak and cannot be have mercy.
Exactly.
That state in America no a representation of the president because you are the executive force as a will lead that. So when that weakness no you are done. Other people around you will begin to do some of these things. And they know, and they're there, the Akufo-Addo Abaiма who send a camera for Rata, Bossabi and Kwasi, Abosin will be a Kenyan assumption now. At some point, the company and an advisor, our Jessica Film, banking sector cleanup by Ghana for the money to say, some of us have studied policy. We've seen a lot of some of these things because there is nothing new under the sun.
That's
Bible
right.
Nakaya, or 2008, our America, they had similar banking sector challenges in Asifo. We saw the finesse and the wisdom the Obama government then adopted by ensuring credible firms, or more musika from the Treasury Department go out there and buy the distressed assets. Make sure you stabilize them so that people will not lose their job, so that there will not be tsunami. Chase Bank, our America, yes, and JP Morgan Chase, these are credible banks. They bought all the distressed assets. I know the day, and then from the mic and other way. So when Baumia and Co started this particular thing, that was the same thing we were expecting. Say, make sure you don't kill the bank, but by your name,
that reference.
Exactly. So Papa Kwasindium now also what's in the bank. Now Sikane no didin semuna. You have every right to pick Papa Kwasindium as an individual. You deal with him. Any legal malfeasances via our committee no, you can deal with him, but don't kill the bank. Because said there is nothing like private bank.
Exactly.
There is nothing like private bank and in any country. But the very moment you open your doors and public comes in, it is the responsibility of the government to ensure the economic safety of those who are investing. So government to no private bank. So but omontie and omoye nema sa na Alaska ekoko jigu ye. But President Nankasa Alaska my culture say afraid to be arrogance of power. So we are buying. That's all. What times I don't know the taro. What we no. And that's exactly what Akufo-Addo did. Alaska. So we Kumasia. Your first constituency be Kwabere.
That's right.
I'm told the constituencies in more biggest numbers.
The largest.
Akufo-Addo went there, and Medoko Kumasi says yeah. Now no na me come na me na beku Santana yesho na me say me ka say me share obi and me be say enti over the years from Kufuor pencil be say Akufo-Addo pencil the Kumasi people have been very grateful to MPP nti me pese me hu eye ade asombo kese e wo Kumasi abaka say MPP baaye e na obaye ade we ma yen ko anya hwe me nse John Mahama hesi kejetia yesi Rotary Park na hwan hospitals ahodo ne na se for enti die na oye nipa kro say Kufuor maternity na me say mo ya na mo bodam Alaska they see come for not no kra no no for am fam pride no ho na wa akosi maternity popotuo bi de kwatare baby and a achievement you see the joke so over the years the people have been taken for granted
for far too long
so when he went there now we be say kwabre for so omo kwan omo no to aba ma Mr. President there na abaye e say we nyansa sem na wo ka kire omo. That is what differentiates a gangster from a leader, a president. Oh yes.
A gangster.
That is what differentiates a gangster from a president. Nipa na to abamano. Because Akufo-Addo was an imposter from the beginning. He's a fraud theory. President no, it's like movie. Na script amana or who play. That is not who you are. And your role play.
And Obia, he is not what he is. No,
yes, or a role play, no, because he knows nothing about presidency. Because at that moment, you find wisdom and sell to the people, even if it is a lie, you just to show respect. He told them, so indirectly, he was telling them, this is people are for about my president at for Alaska. Kwabre for we kokrumoti this time around. Go to Kumasi and check the vote. Go and check MPP's performance. And I mentioned says the reason why some of you have to take your first credit for all this advocacy akoso because the message young people team ama omoyi ya wo metumi me ma me wo fase ni sa grass 7 na ya politics no amamfo asase yifrim. That is why you see those numbers. And one thing I think say boy me maka say Ashanti region over the years numbers na free hoba ni na cook numbers.
Sure.
And I'm expecting say me kasatia regional divisions na se for no why but say Akufo-Addo any 16 say per say any 20 I think that Ashanti region say team 3. Yes, team 3 na emu na ho na development nko because kronu kra kan bom dodo. Now I think so make here development. So Alaska, sa niema na omo ekeka boss wa ekeka bom no. Eno na ka ho bi titiro e na ma Ghana for ka said no. Papa we ebu nipa mfere nipa because beka ya obo dwadata e ma ohini bi betena ase. O se ye bo anthem. Ohini na nsore. Alaska you see say uko school na wo mature na say wo nim die do a certain level na say wo gina badwama even say obi ya ade akra na enya there are ways what temperament na overreact. You saw the video.
I don't know how
Akra president was throwing childish tantrum indicating say he's all powerful. Unfortunately for him ohene no crisis had an oyare no no the can betena function na say for several hours came president. So by the time president betena say no omoye de omoye na nisu chiri no, so he had no other option than to sit down. The following day president Konikro yebo national anthem and the bagina phone so he couldn't even caution her. That is the level of embarrassment. At some point in time President Akufo-Addo ko Volta region in Suafa nipa we are making arrogance and quan settle.
That's right.
Or Volta region in Suafa nipa omoni to go munsem at that point and I'll call remind you of say mekra na ka vote nkwa when the okromo him say Volta region won't have my MPP. So you don't need to go there to remind them at the time and the people are in pain.
Meanwhile through action and inaction of
exactly
government.
It was an accident. Nipa na da se ka se mebi nso agum so because they knew the implication of what they were doing. They knew that omubia na be boro the spillage will go to that extent. They knew nobody did any risk assessment bia and yet di gu omo so until you don't go there and say kabato nko at that point a sign of immaturity, but he displayed it. The same Volta region, the guy goes to funeral ahim for tete ho fine maybe a senko mo sorry but on one sorry as a leader it is not your business to go and direct them. I'm sorry, even protocol team now signal be now go country was a president ba Alaska then mon sorry now me say ni common sense but no ofri say o man ne yes ne ma me na ewu no de jano say ne papa na ewu no de jano say ama power na wanya na emma we ye da wo say de yo and as I said in ordinary no you don't expect opinion over here. That is what he displayed. Then you're back to the economic front, Alaska. Ghana economy was here. And that is why when I see people on street jubilating, yes, changing now, but we are jubilating. But Alaska, I say the future looks so bleak and uninspiring because of the economic circumstances. Ghana for them say Alaska, say you would minority, how we are away. Say Ghana, you declare bankrupt. ye ntimi ntua ye ka
That's right.
ya postpone it ye debt ye de external creditors ye push kwa animu alaska ye ba betua sa sika no some of the debt will mature early as 2026.
Exactly.
The amount of money we are to pay, we don't have them. So the new president will have to brace his heart, go to IMF and renegotiate.
And he has even hinted.
Yes, because that is the only way out. And yes, apart from IMF, he has to go to the credit space and renegotiate the already negotiated terms with your creditors.
So that he must have some breathing space.
Exactly, yes, how you can do. Because microphone here, money will mutiman say, Omabo mina no more people cutting in our so inheriting, you are inheriting a disaster. That is why I'm expecting say the new government, Alaska, Adiaba over the years, a buying beer power and a real free because be a copy be not communication front na breaky. And I know the day some of these things because you need to let the Ghanaian people know and understand the real state of Ghana's economy.
I'm not cutting you so, but I stated it here yesterday. Say you should open the Pandoran box.
Oh yes.
Now, every sector of the economy, my Ghana for
and
fellow Ghanaians.
Yes.
On your fellow Ghanaians.
Alaska, me say energy sector alone. I assume hono Alaska. We say omoto about we that be dum so.
That's right.
Because your power, your generation mix, I think say you 5,316 megawatts. That is way peak day. We have about 3,700 thereabout. Alaska generation mix, Ghana yeah wom 50%. Then the IPPs, the independent power producers 50%. So that generation mix and the Maya. Yeah, the money to a tune of about $2 billion. And this so now sogly Chinese wave no only. Yeah, but about another crack could do more plant. What is a finance minister or no more agreement?
That's right.
Because ECG has no control over this. Because the Omoka no more could do plant, ECG when power no on and Ubenebi na wachiche, but they off the entire plant due to one light in a doom. And now abina lose power. They don't even know their fate. And until who doom so no cause because they didn't resolve anything. See I'm no say. As na John Mahama bottle say okay, power we near the Omoka. And TM created that fund. Now the Airline is a Sikaba Toma. You let us form a consortium of banks. Now you one as a leader. And the Sikaba toss our fund in Numa. Alaska wouldn't idea anymore. One a doka, one a dear Kayanji Maya. I could for the buy a mobon quasia bossian in area, and I can offerata Pomogeji, the Esla, and not the Quaja Bosnia. And this Sikabia Batasa Lumbiano. Paying the energy sector with
level
empty and I pay for the mortgage. Then so Obakaya, nan saying ya de get funder over the years. Oko secondary school and I had to talk as man cry. It's come and the get fund they say get fund to mean talk get fund to mean provide anything for students. That is the state. So you need to paint a picture skill description of Ghana's economy. Somebody people will not be overexcited. Say yeah buying number yes yeah baby no. There is no room. And unfortunately for this John Mahama administration and Ghana for Niati brutal. I'm telling
that's
you.
right.
And it is not business as usual. Even though 2016 was president, but the stakes has changed. Social media and other platforms are heightened, and you can't do anything in secret. And you have to be very transparent and let Ghanaians know. Say I'm not saying your debt to your GDP numbers now who are artificial, but at some point in time, World Bank projected now you over 100 and something. Alaska, that is the reality. Your debt to your GDP, your friends say cost in Ankasa, your debt to Ankasa. You know the amount, and then over about 700 million. Then you come to the fact to say, Afibia, Sika, the service your debt, your jai, your twin to your Boabo, no, your Bessiamba. We need to go back and renegotiate with China. You see, I'm not credibility, what they call Bobosia. Or credit score as hang junk
Only
affordability. Exactly, that is the right word. I Ghana for better say affordability and the Kobosia wouldn't be. Alaska Bank of Ghana for the first time in the history of this country to be boka over 60 billion Ghana say a binsi die in the history of this
Bank of Ghana auto day.
Now when can mobile we know say asanya we ho board members no more da no no to 500 your friends say 500 million each. 500 million as allowance for say Yaboka over 10 over say over best 60 billion been see that
or not one or two and allowance.
I to go watching ya chamo mo na I won't say bi nko to iPhone as watch.
That's right.
And I know musisi we da hon sem ye nwie da. So Ghana for what is obi kan Akufo-Addo asema obi antan no. papa ni nipa boni ni. Yes, that is why the last time I make catch Captain Smart say Nyankopon ni bedi no owo gym opagya nade onye nwie onye nya no ho adaje.
Nyankopon ni nana do bedi no.
Nyankopon ni bedi no owo gym pagya nade because Alaska boni papa na di no this ohwehwe na ni so bear 4 days.
What the boni o?
What the boni?
And MPP for Yankasa. And you know something Nadia on social media say oh says say better cement to better so about 16. Cement to better so about say.
Nadia na yet so there is no price coming down. And the fatu Ghana for team because enema na say we price stabilization obenya and we talk about 10 cedis and you want to say over 27 cedis and price
woman know what say
wouldn't be Alaska Bank of Ghana for the first time in the history of this country Bank of Ghana to boka over 60 billion Ghana say a bin see that in the history
of this Bank of Ghana auto day
na wonu kan no mobile wonu say esan ya awre ho board members no mo da no no tuo mo ka 500 your friends say 500 million each 500 million as allowance for say ya boka over 10 over say over best 60 billion e bin see that
no to no o tua ne ho ka man allowance
I to gold watch nya cha mo ho na won ka say ebi nkoto iPhone na support cha mo e dan no musisi we da ho nsem ye nwie da so Ghana for what is obi kan akufo ado asema obi antan no papa ni nipa boni ni yes that is why the last time I make catch Captain Smart say Nyankopon ni bedi no owo gym opagya nade onye nwie onye nya no ho adaje
Nyankopon ni nana do bedi no
Nyankopon ni bedi no owo gym pagya nade because Alaska boni papa na di no this ohwehwe na ni so bear 4 days
what the boni o
what the boni
and MPP for Yankasa and you know something Nadia on social media say oh says say better cement to better so about 16 cement to better so about say
Nadia na yet so there is no price coming down and the fatu Ghana for team because enema na say we price stabilization obenya and we talk about 10 cedis and you want to say over 27 cedis and price
woman know what say ade no who say tie catch us Jenny
Alaska na MPP party no so who said the party na say aye enti oh saa uwe bi a obo no obebo anka be me de osofo bi o ka say Akufo-Addo is one president obeko fie with a lot of shame na man for free say yeah politics na animguase na efia papa we die ko na okotena fie no Alaska
okay
thank God chose like King Ahab has turned his heart from God for material blessings. He has turned his heart from God and has sold the destiny of the nation. So the president of Ghana will be one of the presidents that will walk away from the state house with a lot of shame and a lot of anger from the court of heaven. A lot of shame and a lot of anger from the court of heaven. And as long as God lives, unless if he will repent and change some of the steps he has already taken to put the nations into the jaws of the enemy to eat. But if not, starting with him to his descendants, no one will ever rise up from his family into state house or into prominence. Even his party, as he leaves the office, it will take them many decades. Not that the opposition will come into power 2 terms and they will come back. It will take them many decades to return, because the nation of Ghana is one of the beloved of God. But as it is now, there is an exchange in the realm of the spirit. So even the nation of Ghana next year 2022, there will be a lot of chaos in the name of demonstration, in the name of strike. There will be a lot of judgment on the nation. People will be dying anyhow. When it rains, the rain will rain with judgment. When the sun comes down on the earth, it will.
And anytime we are met to body away, no, Alaska, we shall say body away, you know.
Almost 2 years.
And go for a young Safua, and at least they will learn something from this particular prophecy. Or sit now or can say. President in the best son again. Na jama Nebuchadnezzar semna ye kan o. Onu no oni adwen sachira bia o ba bia. Akomwa na otiso no, he never thought say na we ye beba. Ana you so otiso. Na Alaska. Second part of it, the course no nyina no so no mun say mu Ghana for nka ho. Cause I set up ne kwan yom fa so mkofa Bawumia de bae na they were seeking to insult everybody. Bawumia na Akufo-Addo eti se ntafo amamuo bone ni nsemu na akoso yinyiro mo mienu e no mo koso ye na ukote ata ba akonte ne ba se o one de no ye mate a ano the day you are insulting everybody na kopenya nsani sanfa no bata na wo san kofa na po na me be da soro okruma na akase vice president na po Alaska na nka no kotena Guinea kran campus oni so Guinea Oba da soro na yesi na po your vice president insult
na odim osana mo se nyame ya aduma me na meye in charge of DDEP
serious Alaska and I make us a nyanwa presidency no atofom ama efia ba ho so any person bia can just wake up and say Mr. Person be the president because in a serious country where we are pressing problems now you expect intelligence to come to bear no you will not go and pen a poet your friend saying Bawumia na omugina platform so and I make us a nyansa kra sign council or omo posture you say enyum bi sisifia na se for them don't know about you say nyankop yes and yeah you see
yes
you see Alaska we nyansania we are incumbent looking at how a minor fair no Alaska you don't go back and put out such behavior but I'm say obia is so arrogant. And then na me ka about Bawumia team no start up no Alaska. This is a guy a person president. President to are the powerful way our party no. Look at the MPP as a political party. Na ofa obi amana your communication person obe lead the team na. Boy no yourself anything.
Miracle Dennis Miracle.
Yes. Alaska. This is a combative arsenic guy. Alaska you see president
combative arsenic.
Yes. Alaska you need somebody who is very intelligent, somebody who has the ability to be dynamic, to maneuver because you see communication, you know, me say me platform because we has a way of communicating.
Exactly.
Who you sit in the studio has the way of communicating, so you should be able to change that kind of stuff. But Alaska, we are talking about the presidency. A lead communicator, you will need him to be appealing to a certain intellectual class. So I'm asking you, sir. Professor Jampoti, University of Ghana. Na onyen decide nipo beto abama no. Na ohe TV. Na yesi Bawumia spokesperson. Ena ye Baraka Abuaje. Na on kasa na on convince prof no to abama na. Alaska, we need to get serious.
Oh, no, I was a boy with that Baraka Abuaje. Okay. The deal oka say so no wood infrastructure ebe ye camp obe 20 hour. E ho na me hu say because so once you hospital, I will Ebian Kraya or latte and benefiting. I hope I'm so.
No, Alaska, I can't say you can't fake intelligence. If you are not wise, you cannot fake to be wise. And don't blame him. That is his level. Now, his kind of communication, yeah, to certain I buy no, I buy more. That communication, you know, sometimes when you need defense. And as giddy near the opposition, your friend is saying party.
That's right.
But when you are in power, your posturing, that is why. NDC about power, the communication, your friend saying, posturing, language, the tone, everything need to change drastically. Because you are no more in opposition, you are in power. You need to manage the relationship between you and the people out there.
The level don't change.
But when I make us who's that Ghana no one, so obi opposition, you saying with the team, the very moment they get power, then me say power has a way of sucking wisdom out of people's head. The language will change, the tone will change, and I'm for and I cover before the no. So sometimes about one I'm for to tia abayano. Eya na nya policy ni na se for sa o. Enkrofo bi no ho ahi because of kasafi ne kwa am fa so conduct o mo ho no. Eno nko ano can contribute to your defeat. So I think that these are lessons are going forward, you know. Alaska I listen your course this year. So me transfer partner and come in reforms and I'm in report. Me say come in better 1,000 pages.
Oh really?
Oh yes. Because in Nema Bebra, me tinchana me say the things that I see and ya the kitwa, but nipa no gusu yo and they don't see say even some because my Samara Krabwaje appointed that making. I'm not sure that till date. MPP for Kure realized that it was a mistake. I'm not sure.
Oh, they are even praising him.
Good. bringing on Napo as a running mate till date. I'm not sure, sir, because how can anybody on his right senses? Alaska, yes, a council of state in the year, you know. And last time, as a council of state in Amoyam Kramaranti or Feno Mosiso, and Amoyam Kokrafo, and Amoya Dang. Because Hackman, yourself, very Hackman, this am Penifua, yet see a Moncania young crack. And think this am Penifanke, a common Nancy could see wisdom. But Alaska, Kasawo media so I said you crack Kenyans a same chance I'm penning for we. Because with him as a council of elder penny in Alaska, one hour to go near be a cost where we should be bold enough. The last time I made catch about the messes in America.
That's right.
Trump abay. Say Trump a drawing you may not Trump and then a year babada. I wrote on the who you know, then Onya call from Bob Mesa, say Omra, or the America, best said entirely than they because they call the shop. Somebody out there more powerful than you can ever be, even though you are the president. You need to go and listen, and yes, sir, they can make you. Steve Bannon, these people just a phone call, and then he ended up in prison because they cut him. But Alaska, you who's a man, Bessin ne. Want to meet me kwatina TV so abra Ghana for edi ohiana benne na bebrese galamse isi waba na abrante wait TV so me gold ba akunie gold mienu nie na odi Ghana for him panyine bia ni ho from the president to council of elders etimi frɛ no Kenyans asem kire no na say kasa bi oti radio so ka ono kwa na wa bia TV stations by 5 where he got that money. Alaska going forward I think say lifestyle dynamic you first auditing that kind of
sure.
And Alaska I mean can same way we see NDC are buying by power and your business as usual.
That's right.
And don't expect to say obi baba nya power dia bedim class say na obi no better TV so be defend no that will never happen.
That's right.
So all that you have to do power no Ghana for have been very magnanimous enough and I dia because of Nsemuna
you hold it in the trust of
yes
the people
and you do it well. You do it with respect. You do it with recourse to Niama man for Nemu. And yes, it is not time to make money. The last time a day before election, I spoke to a professor. I know catch him say, "Oh, you're sure about John." And I say, "Oh, go and vote for him." Or one thing about him, they say, "John Mama has been president before, but obey or your president now, or two choices: the choice to be Ghana's best president ever, and the choice to be Ghana's worst president ever." But the good thing is, the choice is his to make.
Wow.
And I'm sure, sir, he will make a good choice.
Exactly.
But it's up to him. So I'm sure, sir, being there before, no, he's very experienced enough. Ghana for the trust and support to Ghana for when you know what
because
looking at you.
Exactly because opposition, say. Na not do a pack court no.
Yes.
Say your man will to me you can unpack the court.
Yes. And to me now what the man no there is so now na me na be kuye so na me ka say even Supreme Court judges and Chief Justice nyina no and we can get them all of them out.
Oh, that's right.
And we say how? Na me say oh mra na ye this Chief Justice na we no our constitution must have a petition, but in this particular case, any petition because to tell Alaska, all you have to do, you have overwhelming power to do constitutional amendment.
Exactly.
So you can look at their tenor. Now why stand the 1 month per now with their pim was after 3. So you can extend the constitution and get all of them out.
Oh, that's right. Which
oh, Alaska. Intermediate all other I want in say state institutions. Ghana for Benya GDO.
Sure.
Because court to that hono, Alaska. GDO. Sa akwatentia da go bi omo say oye your friend say parliamentary candidate e wo ho a ono anim so oye MPP
ya jawu.
Na we nipa wo conviction president kwa appoint e wo no. Ka kire ne say oh Alaska ye de to da ase ye moa o sabi. Na no America. Are you aware say Abrante na Trump appoint e no as attorney general. The whole attorney general. And now issues be by more a raise here or no about catch Trump say on to me wajai.
That's right.
Alaska, these are people or no attorney general America or say okay wajai until your chroma we bet my be me say wo ma obi to me now fa na yere crop plan mo fa na yere because to me na ye hia to me so nya amfa nya nsabe e je to me no winya yamfa mra masum nipa enya sika pe ko politics no pesa wo je wudin yi na wo je wudin a be good to people, invest in human, not in properties. Because property, no, yeah, don't say about me.
That's right.
We don't think about investing in people. We always want to. And then if I know we sika, sabi, or no, we sika man. Then that person at the same time is buying properties for the same kid. And then because if you give your children some level of education, good job, you don't need to be buying properties for them because you have set them up to be successful in life. The choice is theirs to make. What has happened American? But I know say adweno unhu de wom. Nipa ni nya tumi anadwen say yes ye mre ne ye ba bedidi. But I know you say asedan kanyame and Ghana youth omani ate. Unya tumi na wa bisa property na ya ba contem and American Ghana for a part of this government.
Oh, that's right.
At this time, government in Yanko Rogo, John Mahama, and Ghana for to do now support. You know, the mostly.
That's right.
Whatever that he needs to succeed, no,
Yeah,
I think he has it. So I think there is also positive discretion. No, making sure, say, friends, boot lickers and see comfort. Now you try Wushia. Or you press you, there be others. I started from that people.
That's right.
When you are setting up. And you set up friends, cronies, and those people. Well, we I don't know. And I could for yeah. A branch on nam abontenum jot or dot to Tiana, no, as anti video to no time no say, oh yeah, your friends saying
Press secretary.
Sabi. And now Gabia Sarachel, I couldn't number be kind of for Yatanum and baby. Now we are in so I'll ask you need people who can look you in the face and say, hey, President Jankas Asemno, Janse Muno, because the Atu Akufu, I don't know, the Pese Biba to Yang, do the right thing. And I think that you need strong people who will be able to tell you the truth. The ugly truth now you don't want to hear. So, there be a budget, so Okana be no agreement.
That's right.
Because they don't have to be agree with you all the time. You need critical, intelligent mind down there around you. Because Anamakano Babia, Amamona Babedruno, and then this PPBMO.
No,
I'm on focus 40 or more show. Pressure no Baba. Social media has become an effective tool. It can make you and not make you.
Say social media.
Yes.
And, radio stations are very positive media too.
Yes. And your campaign be no be and your social media advocacy, the exposure. Kevin Taylor turn the radio, so exposure say hold on and so and your campaign but he's on radio telling people on platform other people platform, telling people what Akufo-Addo is using our power. So you see. And because those platforms no omunkudum no omode be ya adwuma
mama Ivan in fact what raise the issue fine
okay
you use platform way Emma Ghana for when you ma bonia Akufo-Addo
yes
Ghana for say Alaska new team including others your team when you Mahama ba mitino platform we can say players are here the ball qualification series no and yes our players na the ball major tournament the fact is that NDC abane yem party ni say obia na was on your appointment. Now, per asama wo kan sisi ano. It shouldn't be business as usual.
No.
I was say mama yi experienced people.
Yes.
Ombe to enya way and mini way nka and enya no ne ba be here. We are not going to change.
Yes.
You know, sabano be sisa na adwen sisa ya adwen because we mean well for Ghanaians.
Yes.
So I say propose bibi farmer abai we over what will you propose?
Oh, I think they said that Mexico now on efficient government Alaska. That is very very important. And getting around these strong people who will put your ass on fire as president. They will tell you the ugly truth because it's not business as usual. Then going forward in Alaska, you see, institutions
that's right.
We need to make sure that we strengthen state institutions.
Overhauling.
Appointment a woman sabi enyina kwan papa so no. I say a reversing nyina na making sure say we put competent people at various positions. And ade ba kwa Ghana for gina so to abama Mahama pa ma we mfi da accountability.
Accountability.
Holding these criminals accountable. Alaska, that is a sacred your friends say foremost your friends have responsibility that has been imposed on President Mahama or renege on it. Alaska disaster will be for this government. I'm telling you.
Mame Mao near your time. Mame Mao
we don't have a conversation. What question be I just ask? Yeah.
Mame Mao near Makuma Kutena Mahama dia Tuja. So the first 90 days.
Okay.
Oba Obeye. Ivan, the first 90 days day one. Was it within 14 days? Say, yeah, sworn in within 14 days.
Yeah.
About nominate, nominate within first 14 days.
Okay.
The first 14 days, the complete list of cabinet ministers for parliamentary approval.
Okay.
That is 1. Yoko 2. Constitute the leanest and most efficient government in the first 90 days in office.
Yes.
3. Establish a robust code of conduct and standard for all government officials.
Okay.
Yabano, 4. Hold a national economic dialogue to discuss homegrown physical consolidation solutions.
Yeah.
Yaba 5. To scrap e-levy, COVID levy, 10% on bet winners, and emissions levy within first 90 days in office.
Okay.
Yaba 5. Yako 6. 6 in the same. Commence drafting needed, legal amendment and prepare for implementing the 24-hour economic policy.
Okay.
Yaba 7. Implement the no academic fee policy for all first-year students in public tertiary institutions.
Yeah.
I mean, call 8. And that was 8. Institute a government policy banning political appointees from purchasing state assets.
Yeah.
9. Institute forensic audit into banking sector collapse.
Okay.
COVID-19 expenses. Other reckless NPP spending and scandals. And Ivan, last one, reopen probe into 2020 election killings. Ayawaso by election violence, murder of Ahmed Swale and others.
Alaska.
The first 90 days.
So Mahama first 90 days in summer okay alone. No, or if you expand it, it tells you how irresponsible Akufo-Addo has been. But in seminar boss, no, about bear 4 fall within the remit of Akufo-Addo. I think why Mahama any ways of bear. For instance, Ayawaso, Kajima shooting, and others. These are things that 4 years ago we should have investigated and make sure say families involved no are either compensated and criminals involved are prosecuted. But he didn't do any of these things. So and the sword now falling on the new government to take this upon itself to ensure say obey Sadia no because Ghanaians are still asking for it. The next thing I acquire and day another people are saying
Number 5.
I say you Alaska and Akufo-Addo the same person. So in some now, I'm sure say they are not things that workers want to mean yet 90 days. But you see, the governance now can not extend beyond this. These are the preliminary stage I set it, so you can easily do this. I mean, Alaska, one attribute, the biggest one of them, is the president being strong-willed person, very assertive and very authoritative, because the there will be a lot of people who rise Alaska. They will also want their interest taken care of. So we are president now will show any sign of weakness that you are dead. Any slightest sign of weakness as a leader, as a president, you are dead. Because the people will rise above you and do what these people did. And in order to send a clear message, we need to constitute a team of investigation into all the criminal scandals
That's right.
From Cecilia Dapao to whoever. Because my catcher said, if we don't do this, then we should forget it. The government will lose the support of the people. Because a lot of people voted because they wanted accountability.
Do you know why Ghanaians voted for Nanado in 2016?
Okay.
He came at the back of fighting corruption.
Yes.
Because you target John Dramani Mahama say or you corrupt.
Yes.
Okay, Ghana first say it is idea. You too about the amount.
Fighting corruption.
Fighting corruption. Oba no crowd,
No.
So now, Bebrena say about yourself to about the amount John Dramani. And Ivan, another one, the so-called opinion leader chiefs. Any a software so be ya bonia. And they make us a software opinion leader should leave Mahama alone.
Yeah.
None and Gasa is in appointees.
Yeah.
But here what is a minute me your hindi be near yes so mu was
so that is why
that's right.
You need to be very strong and assertive. Alaska, yes, definitely you do consultation. but as a leader, you know who and are qualified for whichever role you want to assign the person to. If you allow external influences to get over you, then you lose your leverage. What I say? So at this time, no, in as much a consultation and co will happen, no, you are the man in charge, Alaska, because Nippon no, their failure will translate into your failure,
Exactly.
and their success will translate into. I could find the buyer ye boni the for me. I'm a money on one.
That's right.
But today, because on your president,
He's the arrowhead.
he's the arrowhead of your body. And then I say whether he will fail or be successful, the choice is says to make, and it includes whoever you appoint to be part of your team. Yes, I'm on for about we are hungry na deben. Why hey na one who said power no your party near Kwaja Saka kese party no and the baba benefit. Number may Ghana for and unanimously atmosphere who say enough of this nonsense and we want to change. We are changing for a better your friends Ghana. Because Ghana for are looking at a Ghana hope to average and the ordinary Ghanaian.
Exactly.
Hope for the hopeless. Alaska. Then nipa obunibi. Ombenya say yamsu ye wani daswo. You wake up a day, you have talent in you. You know there are platforms and avenues. Alaska say if the government can set up a thinking shop somewhere, get people. Yes, you see you need innovative ideas.
That's right.
For instance, and if I sit down, I'm a tenacity here America and Nigeria for crying, comedy has become one of the booming enterprises
In Nigeria.
in Nigeria. Okay, US are some of the guys doing comedy. They are all billionaires. Yes. Na Ghana crowd the comedy no money me. Nipa no mo ye comedy no. Kan kra. I don't see any comedian in Ghana. Just nipa no gina ho appearance in the oye no ho kra bufu time. Because you see ana make say ye nim de ye is it because yemfa wisdom back it.
Mama nche Jaku.
Alaska. Mama nche wa dey about comedy. So for so ye comedy wa. So o he comedy o he national theater. Nipa no ba or the table on the minimum or the your friend say or painting in nim why you say so psychologically no when you see that person laugh be about laugh and laugh for we so what I say American so whatever that comes out of the person's mouth no it can never get you anywhere.
That's right.
But in America people you know be comedy or dress up with suit address it like a bank manager. The last thing you expect from that person is comedy. So anything he says even if it is not funny you will laugh.
That's right.
It's common wisdom, but if I know about Okala or the taboo bonny minimum, I say so. Who na already know what's said that there is not even through a numa bar a way. So Alaska, some of these things, you know.
Now, Sawati, oh yeah, not
Yes, Alaska, and you see, we have a lot of guys who are very funny.
Kuma
Wood, for instance, or some of the guys, you know, in as much as Omunya or mentor money or guide you more, they are doing their own thing. So anything who know, sa basa bisano. But who have some of the guys now? You see, they have talent. Even your college and academy, be cry or go through. That's a diploma. You attach certain wisdom to it. So you teach them some of this technique so that our comedians can even travel outside Ghana to go and make money.
Exactly.
So as government, you know, you have to identify all these things. And the movie is another booming enterprise. And some of the emerging economies are doing. Then a new movie, a concert, we need to set up these academies. So I know the day people from school will have that then as a career path. And I know the day, when they are coming up, may catch us some movie platforms nothing stops us from creating our own Netflix and our own.
I think, sir, Ivan, you must be useful. Very useful on my by way. Ivan, when him say, when you go to our MMDAs, the district and multiple district assemblies, I want to say you.
Yes.
Car assume assemblies, as well, no.
Yes.
So it's not going to be business as usual.
No. Alaska.
Huh?
Yes. So you need to, you see, Makata said, Nipa no more, my potential. So your government, your job is to identify all these potential and look at areas a bit more spread so that people will not be crowded. Because and I'm for a year, Juma. You don't make me I want to Juma monthly bit to American yet. What I say? Because there are several other individuals we are bit on your own. What I say? So with me, yes, I near mano, not other avenues. People are making money from there. You see, easy pressure on the government.
Exactly.
What I say? Okay, I'll be feeling relaxed because So what academy I know today, a produce comedians, a big produce actors, and then as a forum, and you have a platform streaming up, and then as a forum, those movies, Ghana for you can open up TV station, I pay per view. Oh, that's all right, there is a television called G Movie Ghana, Alaska. You pay 1 CD, you unlock it, you watch it for the whole day. In a year, do you know the amount of money you can make?
That's right.
So these are innovative ideas. I can't just say, and yet, Saturday for an member hatcher. And I also, how are you one in Alaska? I buy a mono in your bar. Nippo more deposit from Tete. Samre diabetes in a way, on my trans, I take care of. They are the very people now, upper market somewhere. I buy about 80% of our appointees will be the same old group now. Nothing will change.
Now me work kindergarten, me work kindergarten, I met you Osafumafu.
Good.
Osafumafu a dim minister, ma.
Yes.
Ni nana num
Dibi.
You see?
Yes. That is the problem.
How many are there?
What way who was to come be now nobody will even speak on your behalf. Oh, Nyansabu team. Yes, sir. Tetin Samna. Oh, wait. So, appointment, we end up enlisting the same people who were in the past. And one thing I love about American politics is Alaska. Trump about 2016.
Analog, I drink one.
Trump about 2016. I was saying about BM. Go and look at the appointment. Even though you have few people in the way of moving,
very sharp brain.
You see, because politics is that whenever you bring in new people, you bring new constituency. But that person comes with his own followers and stuff. So you expand your scope. Then as a forum, new ideas come to bear, new way. Catch them. Or suffer for buying where Bamians assemble or the back home. Apart from so creative scandal, they be. But oh, your senior minister could for pencil what do there at the end of open and that is the problem. And these are people around. And because we are president, you need to be very strong. Because most buy another young boys, the young guys, you will no mood in that time. So, of course,
look at those boys.
You know, for swear,
but you, Nana, one mama will ban chronobo. Because if you look at the post channel, and Chira was Ivan, another sector here, total overhaul, the education sector.
Oh, yes.
The free sector, right? Almost has some more secondary school senior MPP constituency executives. Go to Obos. Kofodia Kosek headmaster no head no Guradi Nyankopon. Uba come on qualifying pro by party need to push you.
Yes, Alaska.
So mama person yes successful. Some profuni ni na.
Oh yeah, I said we he has to weed a lot.
Oh boss, would you na make am go there na better.
Alaska, and I win me I don't do populist politics. Yeah. Now I'm from 1 year so. Meti free SHS. I know say you be a here free SHS.
That's right.
I'm still with that conviction. I'm still with that conviction. Say there are people who can pay and even pay for others.
Exactly.
So Alaska, you just need to come up with a way of identify those outside that particular scope, provide free for them, and you can even let people own up. Those of you who can pay. Then you give them certain tax waiver, certain tax incentive. Now, there are several ways. But there are corporate organizations, multinational companies, or music and but every mile who TV Subia program be MTN and sponsor Vodafone sponsor.
That's right. They can go there and sponsor this.
This MTN Vodafone can take care of 10,000 students every year as a social corporate responsibility.
Me should be used for my buying.
Oh, massa.
Free consultation.
Alaska, Chroma no Nipanya Kumia. It's a different ball game altogether. They don't even care that you exist in those kind of stuff. So don't build expectations to be disappointed. I think that we all want
the betterment of
best. I don't know. I just want to wake up a day where average and ordinary Ghanaian obia bet in the session the bottom didi what to chrome that's a winning we will be a winning yansa now that's sorry now what the estate when a uchi v8 akese na se for na ntamu ha wote no obia ni mosamosa de ombedi kro munya ba wo no yire no mamu didi 5 times a day obi one day kro nya na wo ye nyansani a obehu say sabi nema nkoye. We just need to build a just society where people, may say young people will not only have hopes and dreams, now they also have financial independence. That independence, about translating into the way our more thinking and as a forum. And Alaska, the SCNA, I start is the beginning. No, Ghana, democracy. No,
oh, that's right.
And the foundation that Mahama will build today, and the better take off. So if you will build good foundation, say there is a future. And I'm sure, say this time round, once I never Emma man for nije for Mahama being here and say if you consider problem Ghana for Nemu and the fact that Obano he's coming with an experience.
Exactly.
Because this is a president that one opportunity to be there. Oko fieno, who the mistakes, who the strength. What I say, and when you chance to undo them. So it's a perfect arena for him to be successful.
But now he's aware of the
problems,
challenges.
Nema, the regret. 40 years is here. Whatever he sees as a regret during his time, when your opportunity to go back and correct. But President Mahama, God being so good, and the opportunity, even though it was 4 years, is going to correct some of the wrongs and then do best. So I think that unusing this particular opportunity to build the legacy Ghana for will remember him forever, just like Kwame Nkrumah Obiabo Nidino. What I say,
right? And
Ghanaians will remember him forever. And I think that all that we need. Don't come and say when the boy amen power. No. Every time be independence, but be a man for making sacrifices.
That's right.
2016, you
even
that's the ultimate sacrifice.
Even 2024,
2020, a man for
2024,
ultimate sacrifice. Some people have lost their jobs because of this. Me catch say I lost my job somewhere 2016 because of politics.
That's right.
I'm for me free control. Yes, for politics as well. I don't care.
Right.
So a man for the sacrifices, and you'll be all the campaign, Chico Bankwana sacrifice. So now you should know, sir, a man for sacrificing a lot for us to get to where we are. Obianka said, Tamsika movie, and I said, movie appointment, do the right thing. Yendema, bet me a Boama Ghana for, who say, change now, you're fighting for, you know, Alaska, change papa. Now Ghana for no more. So in the next 4 years, you know, say Ghana for Casa, mon sign twice, so I don't you know, say, or more twice because. To me now with the money pan yangu and mase
right
ya twaso and I think say yan sa ebe boy nyina power no Alaska enya wo ya dan wo time be so ngo kofi agu for ado ba 2016 now free so nkwada wo
that's right
o kwatena fie
and yan jam
and oh thank you Alaska akwana na photo so ano osi Jubilee House or say power and me or heaven
not coming
or heaven I told you say these are cowards and jokers. Let him come and say, hand it over. Handing over, and hand it over. He's irrelevant.
It's your way, mommy.
Woni otutu prempa Ghana fo enyawa anke ahwerade ko dia beni ba wiase nyina kitawo
right
because of politics na aye phone ntino nipa bebre ho a sebi nko mu nim nyansa so omudi nipa anim by now say politics na aye phone ntino oma fra nipa num na omo get to where they are today and some of these display actually clearly where we are. Akufo-Addo, have you seen that Akufo-Addo has changed?
Oh, yes.
You see that kind of, he's so endearing, so happy, cooperating, that kind of.
That's right.
Because pressure fano, he cannot dare so hand you over.
I see Mahama win, you know, I decisive.
Exactly. So every other Ghana for him, all of a sudden Akufo-Addo has changed.
Sure.
So Professor Nana J, baby, and so Chiano Crano, Chiano, no, two.
Baby, and so Crano,
yeah, because MPP party, no, Omo says, whenever you brought summer, was a petty. So the only way to me is to do these things. Me hand you over, me hand, we say, I'll grow up in a moody, chaos, and I'm threatened. And I know I saw another joker on TV. Your friend is saying, you say your fro be another on pre.
Frank, I don't
on TV, so your press conference, Mark Akufo-Addo and handy over. Transition,
say the same thing.
Alaska, or Akufo-Addo phone number. You don't need a press conference.
That's right.
So when you so bet you now respect.
I'm you support all.
And I'm say he's a joker. And you know the coca say sense no pen, you know sense. Now can say munu any papa to about Alaska. And I'm because a time so nipa no musu nim faso a omunni adwene de politics we need to flash all of them out.
Right.
Sabaya more intelligent people will come into the political scene. Because the more wise people will come, the more we stand a chance of solving our problems. The more you import idiots onto the stage, the more we compound our own problem. Nandeka the whole Ashanti region. Obako nipo di omonim ye. You find say won to me. Who go MPP? Obako Bruno na ye say. How did it happen?
Me da say Ivan Kyei Innocent and I'll tell them Kano. Every say from Alaska the commander with a commanding voice. You ever call but mamika say me chire. Yeah no. Yes, sir. So you see we have your credibility and your track records. The fact that the NDC have power doesn't mean to say I was say NDC my MBB not or Chani and Namha near. Yeah, they are buying number power. You be making sure say
for office is a quadi envelope.
That be yeah, common no young ko be a hot da. Young.
Obia so cram for you see sometimes people don't know this up and down radio up and down. Obia no have say oh no they don't even care.
Exactly.
What has happened now can so you did this thing
out of
one cause of personal conviction. What I say was nipa bre and we can't sit down and keep quiet. Obeti obia say no be na kwakomoska. Do you know what it takes to be running around Obia Marche?
Exactly. So me no medumara and I'm done nasi. Say at least maybe I'm
this even radio station we come
exactly
adwuma aye radio station nya hane na etiti ditwa wo kesika wo na chairman nya open sesame
ndabi anya
open sesame
anu ne dey
I say ukoti hane na kan open sesame na dan
siga gari so I'm forever grateful to Dr. Samofuso Ampofo, right? The American say yeah and we are not going to be a praise singers, bootlickers. We brought Mahama, all right. Obiasu ni meduma yaye. But the fact is that Mahama but does not mean the say because se Mahama be ye economy ne jina so a ye nkola ye wo omuko school a ye betro ma de papa. Niema be koye, oko passport officer niema be koye. And we don't expect to say ye centreful na at the expense of others or mobre no makwa ji the ababe shame ho na others suffer. No. We won't do that, but he will make sure say the right thing must.
Yes, Alaska.
What's one hour time was afraid? Ain't most of us go the guapa.
When
Me cry na have you. No me dey be shut down for me ho sa. 2 hours and was afraid. Ain't a grand let's go there e ma bi wo. It's got to say me think no was starting so soon. You see, na not be na say ha do bato boa. Because afraid na yeba be church nsem ken for yet krono obo Ghana. Any of ministers of state krono obo Ghana. Afraid on the hot one or dwenju no hwe TV na afraid the send the fuso. Ehwe said the appointees no krono obo Ghana no afraid no muyi ano. And to a large extent some of them will go to jail for the rot they created for the country. Afi John Dramani Mahama, His Excellency. Methodist Simbu go nyumbi a charge to keep. I have Asudi Damejo and Asudi Dawodo. Say, and never be one was one for next for me 1 year. And Ebiana Krum had Musene Nani Betnaha. Because I remember very closely. Oye the defa John Dramani Mahama when the NDC who Kumasi, it doesn't speak any volume because that is traditionally not their seat. But then it is only there. We bring out the baby name, and Jonas also 7.10. Wow,
7.11.
7.11. Aha. It's host a cast of 7.11. It's Mr. Host by Minja Farmer and Nafi. Yet was me that's it.
when
Akwawe.
when
Akwawe sebro.
Anyway, so to say that we catch on, I'll begin with former President, the late former President John Evans Fifiado Mills, the transition team. Mr. PV Obin was the chairman of the transition team. And then Mr. Alex Segbefia, on another secretary to the transition team. And then I remember very well Mame Hannah Tete was the spokesperson. What's it?
That beautiful woman.
That very beautiful woman. On another transition team in Ano Casa Mafo. That time, opening Victor Beho, chairman, the inauguration subcommittee. Transitional, this is the very first time transitional you inaugurate without other committee members. You and check committees to do ever fall under the transition, but what you drew this year, they become wasem. Dr. Don Atta. Ebeye chairman ma subcommittee on transfers of executives' assets. Toby Afede, I saw the 16th. Ebeye chairman ma subcommittee on the economy. It's a Professor Mason winning elections, no. Nipa transition ni mo tenase. Me ye dandane. Ghana ye economy ni de ko bonkum de ko ni fa de ko ani mo de ko akire eye. Toby Afede. Brigadier General Nunu Mensa was the chairman. National Security Subcommittee. Alhaji Mohammed Mumuni was the chairman for the Committee on Governance.
Economy.
Mr. Ecospio Gabra, chairman, Social Sector Subcommittee. Anna Afei, Mrs. Betty Moldidrisu, chairman, Subcommittee on Legal Matters. Mr. Kwame Pipra, chairman, Subcommittee on Energy. And then Alhaji Mahama Idrisu, chairman, nominations subcommittee. Now, and what you know, there were several subcommittee members. I mean, one ever said, you bet me the Professor Mills, Aqua Independence Square, Asweni in no, Victor Beho, Kofi Adams, Do Ajaho, Sherry Aite, Backbane, Kojobonsu. Kojobonsu. Ekuya Sena Denswa, E.T. Mensa, Fifi Kwete, Mrs. Sati Okran, Victor Smith, Vanderpoy,
Ambassador Victor Smith.
Nilante Vanderpoy.
No, make Ambassador.
Yes, Ambassador Victor Smith. And now, Ludwig Roger, one and now over in charge, say, Yebetimi, aye inauguration, no, na ya swear in His Excellency, the former late President, John Evans Fifiati Mills. And then we had the subcommittee, no executive assets, Niama, Abino, Wawa, Dibano, Edane no, Niama no, Dr. Donata and Tribo Siakon, and Squashy, Koku, and Yudoho, and Mr. Richard Kwabe, Asante. The economy needed, Cassia Bubodi, Becha Togo Fede, Mr. David Adom, Mr. Frank Edu, Pakwesi Misata. That is why John Mahama, it be who know the far no as the running mate. Pakwesi Misata, Edianan, Mbosisa Saga, Kwabrado 4, Oko Nikwe Jani, Kranche, Percival Yao, Honorable Salas Mensa, Sipayanki George, Setekpe, Eni Thomas, Ni Moy, Obekaya, Meba Beka Papa no once a match. The international relations subcommittee, no, Victor Beho, Tony Edu, and then in for subcommittee on security, Nunu Mensa, Edana Odikain, Assistant Jima, Naval Commander, Bafo, Diwonu CK, and then Nipa Bebre, subcommittee on governance, Alhaji Mohammed Mumuni, on a year, Jum Treni, and Afei social sector subcommittee, no, Ebeye Honorable Ecospio Gabra, and no, quite social sector, a year committee chairman, we are here to ministers are Yamano. Yamano, and on also because any Team B, okay, aha, or the Team B by Samreno na Bame Ababeywado Kahon, Professor Francis Dodu, and a fame Mr. Kofi Nyantechi, opening question Nyantechi, Ebra Penning. Ha. And then we had the energy subcommittee, Kwame Pipra, ena edano then honorable Dr. Kwame Ampofo any others ka ho mitimi muboni na honorable Liti Okranmu na eka ho ne honorable Dr. Otin Eji obe contest ye ewo Bosontwe or the war hopoto.
No, was it?
No, energy minister. No, energy minister.
That's also meter be breed the Bosontwe. My hold on assistance now. Don't do now political meter. As
Omuntia.
Like a friend said, I'm Canadian for ECG. A free or
born free. And then the subcommittee on nominations, Alhaji Mahama Idrisu, and a year chairman, and a lot of people, Kasobo Bar. Edoso and afei Mame Hana Tete a spokesperson edema womo the very first day womo call meeting there was a total disagreement.
This is how to get in shape in 7 minutes a day. It's not hard to lose belly fat if you do the right things. If you do the wrong things, like a ton of cardio, you're not going to lose the belly fat. I don't run. I don't do crazy amounts of cardio because I know exactly what it does to my body. It makes me hold on to more fat. I was almost a professional athlete in my mid-20s, and I'm in better shape now, and I've got 2 kids under 5. And I do not run. You need something that's easy, simple, doable at home in only 7 minutes. That's all it takes. 7 minutes a day, and you can actually start making a huge change in your life.
I went from a size 14 down to a 2.
Wait, what? 14 to a what?
14.
A 2?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's like a person.
Yeah, I've lost over 40 pounds and over 22 inches.
40 pounds and 22 inches.
I lost 20 pounds and I lost 19 inches.
Amazing.
It seems crazy that like a 7-minute video is going to do anything, but it really does work.
I have lost close to 25 pounds and been able to maintain it.
25 pounds?
25 pounds.
Amazing. I mean,
it feels great not being there.
I want you to forget about everything that you know about getting in shape, because what I'm about to share with you can help you get fit in just 7 minutes a day. I've helped thousands of
Professor Mills, John Evans Mills, and John Kufuor transition team. The very first time I'm going, then Yamani insisted so, especially the economic committee, and I remember very well. Tom we are fed. Eka say, and Yama Wabonte, the Omankasa Kai budget him, and yeah, no, no, so they should try and come clean and clear. So there was a total disagreement. And J.A. Mills, J.A. Kufuor, one more transition, no? Mentimi wase was 9 times. And Prem Kron.
Iti enema bebre and I started say kokoko so. But another important notice, Mr. Mo, munya bo trenda mo hwe bibi na muntie ne ye pa. Abanka ye de ma osefa ye aban adwuma. Within 4 years time aso. So pese ofa abanka go through the legal process under the right channel. Na koko secure abanka no so beto anu ato ebe auction no ato. Mewia. Uwia ne ye chewa. Ebia na wo de uti anye ye ni afo akọ police station. Ebia boys betumi asho ati wo wuram ho no ma de mo sa keka. Ayo ne enyi so